Hey, what's up? It's Jason. Man, so rough start to the week. I went out on the job this morning and it's just too wet. I came back home. I brought the mill and everything back home, and I just told the girl, I was like, man, it's just too wet. We've had a lot of rain here in the Middle Tennessee area over the last couple days, so some areas have had more than others, but man, the site they were trying to get me to saw in, I was just like, man, that's not happening. It's too much. So I just told her, I said, man, I'll try to come back a little bit later in the week. I got a couple of jobs, so I'm getting a little bit behind, but that's okay. I'll probably have to do some weekend work, but that's okay too. It happens sometimes, especially this time of year when you get thunderstorms blowing through. But so anyway, I got back here to my shop and I'm like, okay, well, since it's gonna rain, obviously you can tell it's black clouds coming and everything, so it looks like it's gonna be a pretty rough afternoon, but not in my shop. So I have a couple of big fat logs that a customer actually brought me, and he wants to mill these into a block, like a square block of wood. So that's what I'm gonna work on today. I'm gonna saw them on my small mill right here, this little mill, and so I had to adjust my log stops to accommodate for this shorter log. So hang out with us today, man. Watch us saw this baby. I call this like a little fat baby log. So we're gonna saw this up. We're gonna turn this into a block of wood for this guy, and he's gonna use it in his outdoor space around his fire pit. So hang out with us, watch us. So yeah, that's a wrap on that one. We just made this guy a 13-inch by 13-inch block of wood, and that's for him to sit out on his patio. And I'm not sure what he's going to do with it, but it's a pretty big piece of wood, almost like a big fat post. But it's 13 by 13 inches. And he got I got a couple of nice boards out of it while I was getting down to that 13 by 13 inch cant. And so I cut these at like 1.5 inches, one of them, I think. One of them's 1.25 inches, but the other ones are at 1.5 inches. I don't know if he wants to do something with them. He might use them for some like live edge floating shelves or something, or something. But anyway, yeah, so that's, you know, that's some of the stuff we can do, especially with this smaller mill. I can't necessarily cut a log this short out in the field, but if you can get it to me, like a little fat, short little log like that, I can cut it on this small mill here at my shop. Obviously, I got more equipment here to work with. So anyway, man, yeah, it's a good time, and yeah, hang out and saw some more logs with us. So I hope you can hear me. I got a big old piece of walnut on here. So way more than what this mill can actually handle. But I got it on here, so I'm gonna saw it the way it is. I can't even clamp it down. It's so wide and it barely fits through the saw head. But this mill is, I mean, it's okay. So I can saw it like this. But look at how I clamped this thing down. I had to jerry rig this kind of. So because I don't want this log to fall back on me whenever I'm sawing. Because when the blade hits it, the log's gonna want to move. And so I've got this clamped down like this. Because this clamp, I can't even get it up high enough because my carriage on my mill won't make this pass as I'm coming down the track, as I'm coming down the rails. And so I just had to kind of rig this up right here to hold this log in place. I've already made one cut with it and it seemed to work fine. It's a beautiful piece of walnut. Same situation with this log. I'm going to just square this thing up with this guy. And this is going to be a beautiful piece of wood. And it's probably going to be a pretty good conversation piece for him and his family whenever they're sitting around a campfire or something. But because it's so big and it's black walnut. So anyway, hang out with me. Watch this. All right, man, I just finished up cutting this this black walnut, and we made this into a big block of wood for this guy. It's 15 by, it's like 15 and an eighth by 15. So beautiful piece of wood, and as you can tell, the wood grain in it, it's a beautiful piece of wood, and hopefully this will add to his deck, his appeal to his deck. And it's a big chunk of black walnut, and a little bit of a challenge to cut, but that's all right. We were able to get through it. No big deal. No major issues, as you could tell in the video. But if you know anybody that wants a bunch of black walnut scrap, obviously I got some. Better let me know pretty quick, because I'm going to burn it, because I accumulate so much of it. I was able to get one slab out of this for this guy, a good slab, a nice slab that he can probably use for something. I don't know, for a small desk or something, or maybe like an end table. But the rest of these, I was just kind of squaring this stuff up and just making sure everything was square with this project. And he didn't really want any boards, but I told him there might be some. He was just wanting this thing as wide as he could possibly get it. So anyway, one of the cool things we can do, if you can, whatever type of creative projects you have in mind with wood, man, I may be able to do it on a sawmill. So doesn't matter. Even if the wood's log's a little bit wonky or something, I might be able to do it. I can get pretty creative, and I've learned how to use these machines pretty good. So I always tell people, I'm like, man, you know, if you get into this stuff, like sawing's the easy part, really. You've got the creative mindset and learning what these machines can do and maxing out their capabilities, learning what they can and can't do is really key to this. And you know, other thing is obviously having fun with it and letting somebody, you know, if somebody can share their vision with you on a piece of wood that they had, like this guy in particular, if you can capture a picture of that in your head and make it on a sawmill, makes your client happy. So anyway, come on, saw some logs with us. We're going to go out probably the rest of this week. Hopefully this weather will clear up and we'll get back out and get sawing on the road.